we need to get back to making the decisions that we, as a group, think are best. And when you make a decision on the board, every board that I've ever had the luxury of serving on, you state your opinion. You try to defend what you believe in. You try to do it in a good-spirited manner, and then if the board that you're serving on sees it in another avenue and it does not go your way, then you fall in with the rest of your board and you support that decision to the best of your ability. And that is not happening with our group, and as a result, we've become dysfunctional. But I appreciate being able to say how I feel. My stomach's in knots before every meeting. I work hard. We all work hard. Everybody up that's here works hard. We do this as a contribution to the town, and to have to come and face this kind of stuff once a month or more often is difficult. But I applaud you for coming to the meetings, because you probably feel the same way. I have to only imagine.
No, I think everything pretty been well said with Ron and the lady.
I have a question. I have a question. I mean, I've been following this whole thing in the paper, and I think the last thing I read in the Daily Herald was that the mayor had met with the Board of Elections, if I understand correctly. They had met, but they were supposed to be doing further investigation on this situation. My concern is, again, it always has been, the benefit of this town. I'm not understanding, and please understand and don't, misunderstand what I'm saying. I deal with politicians on a higher level than a simple town meeting where mayor and commissioners can't even come together.
We take it ourselves way too serious.
Yeah. And a town or city cannot function if the whole governing board can't come together. And the way that I talk to some of the citizens in Scotland Neck all the time, and I hear their concerns, both black and white. I know no partiality. I wasn't raised that way. So I talk to the citizens both on either side of town, whether I'm driving, finding elderly people sitting on porches, in homes that I believe that they need to move out of, or if I'm in town, just walking up and down the streets, hearing, things that young people want to hear. Now, you have a lot of things that are going on this Main Street corridor here. But again, and I'm going to say this paper does not just circulate here in Scotland Neck. It goes as far as Washington, D.C. and even the Baltimore area. And if they're reading that I'm pouting because, I'm not going to come to the meeting because I'm pouting because I'm mad with the other commissioners because, they want a black and white thing, or I'm not going to come if the mayor doesn't come or whatever, it's going to always, it has never, and I've sat down with Mayor Parton and talked with him, but I never had such foolishness that I'm seeing now. I didn't agree with a lot of things that Mayor Parton did, but he gave the respect to me to sit down and hear what I had to say and try to see how we both could work together, whether he meant it or not. I'm saying that was the respect that he gave me. Now, unbeknown to when this mayor ran for the election, and I have the documentation to prove that, when I was in Washington, before I contracted in this area, and I will be going back to Washington at the end of the week for good, but I wanted to come and voice my opinion because during that election time, I was asked, through the mayor, and I was going to, the damn mayor, to come to a meeting that you all had, and if you all may remember that. And I presented some pictures that he emailed me to discuss what things were not happening under that administration. Well, what didn't happen under that administration isn't happening under this administration. And I did not know he wasn't going to be here because I was going to address it to him. Because my concern is not whether he mad 50-some years old or however age he is, because you're giving me the appearance that you are acting immature, and you can quote me on that. If you all cannot sit together and come for the common good of this town, what is there a need to have a mayor and a board that's going to be unbalanced?
I agree, and I'd like to address
Exactly.
a piece of that, Charlie, if I could. Thank you. The meetings that are being missed by various people, he refers in his letter to we. There is no we. We is this whole board.
Yeah.
That is we. I'm not sure what he's referring to as we. But I'm just going to keep this to the mayor. Every single scheduled board meeting that we have had, you know, we have a scheduled board meeting on the same Tuesday, on the same month, and we've had that board meeting scheduled date for how many years? 30 years. We all know that's our meeting.
Yes.
During the period of time where all those meetings were getting missed, he missed every single one of those meetings. These three board members made every single one of those meetings. Every single one. The meetings that I could not attend were when the main board meeting was boycotted, and then a specially called meeting was scheduled during a time during the working day, which I could not get here. I would call in and say there's no way I can make it on that day.
Find another time.
We would say find another time. We want everybody to be there. And I say we, everybody who was concerned. We would give alternate dates, and the mayor would say, I'm calling for the meeting on this date at this time. If you can't be there, we'll just have it anyway. Now that's a specially called meeting that he's calling in lieu of the regular scheduled board meetings. Now not one time, not one single time, did anybody here in this meeting tonight ever go out in the public, in the papers, and accuse people of not coming to the meetings and it being racial or racial issues? Not one time. This whole thing got started when we could not attend these specially called meetings after the regular meetings were being boycotted. They then started going to the newspaper saying we're avoiding meetings, not going to meetings. And because I was not willing to spend, I'm not interested. I'm not a politician, to your point. It's the last thing I want to be. So I was not willing to play that game and try to spin it back and forth and back and forth. So as we've done for the last 2 years, we sat right there, didn't say a word, and let all that stuff go in the paper. Now we have residents in town who have responded, who are angry, and who have responded very aggressively. But they're angry. This group has tried to take a high road as high as we could. And I hope that explanation will, again, speak for itself on what actually happened and what was going on. And where you've got things trying to be spun into something they're not, you need to see it for what it is, please. And please go out and tell everybody in Scotland Neck what you see.
Well, their opinion, they're not even their opinion, their concern is, well, you know, they're going to do, putting all of you all in the category of, well, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. That's not, we need, again, we need to forge forward in the progress of this town, because this town is dying.
Exactly.
There's no economic growth here. There's no housing.
The mayor wrote
programs.
a letter that he sent tonight, and that Mr. Shields read. He was reading it as you came in, and I think you may have missed it.
I don't think she was here.
Oh, I don't. Okay.
But he says, whereas we are happy. Again, I'm not sure if he's referring to the we that's not here or we the board. I don't know.
Well, he's saying, whereas we are happy with the recent progress being made in adopting a budget.
That's right. And,
Okay.
and he says gave the town workers a 3% raise. That was in the budget the whole time, folks. We agreed to that as a group, as a 5-person board with a mayor, having discussion. We all wanted it. We all wanted to make that work. We're happy. That's good. Did not raise residential electric rates. All of that standoff where those meetings were being skipped, if it was over electric rates, there was $8 per year per residence that was going to mean. That was less than $1 per month. It was about 60-some cents a month is what was at stake there.
And it's gonna cost between $30,000 and $40,000 extra for us to collect the taxes. And all that was over about $8,000 or $12,000. How much was it next? $11,000. So we gained 11, we lost 40. You know, it's just no sense in it.
Number three,
Okay.
gave all workers a minimum hourly pay rate of not less than $9. We all agreed to that. All 5 of us sitting in here as a team with the mayor. It was in the original budget. That was our whole group. That was not a faction. That was not black against white. The whole group. We should be proud of what we're trying to do as a group. Gave our sanitation workers 40 hours per week, paid vacation, paid medical insurance, retirement, and paid holidays. We had 2 workers that were part-time, and in the last meeting, which had nothing